Yes. We are ready to go. Hey everybody, my name is Quentin Parker, and this is my flight sim vlog. Today we are on the grounds of Felts Field in Spokane, Washington, and we're going to take this lovely piece of flight metal, the Pilatus PC-12, to Portland, Oregon. And if I'm not mistaken, this will be one of my longer flights. I believe Portland is 240 something miles away from my current position. I think the longest we've flown up to that point was from Madrid to Barcelona. So let's get this party started. You can stow your gear, whatever it may be, that folding bike or whatever the hell you want to call it, and you can join me up the air stairs into the cockpit. And I am seated. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood, as you can see. So we're just gonna... Okay, you're sorted. You are sorted. Passenger door. There's the air stair. Baggage door. Cones and covers. For realism's sake, I should probably do those first. You know what? Screw that. We have a lovely ground crew that does that sort of stuff. Alright. Let's get it going. I'm feeling like I should have some badass music to accompany my power up. You know, something like the theme to Airwolf or something. I think I just dated myself with that reference. All the youngins are like, "The hell is Airwolf?" It's my new call sign, is what it is, you know. Ground idle. And I believe we are set. Clear left, clear cowl, clear right, clear prop. Thank you, XP Realistic Pro. I swear I'm gonna get those guys to sponsor me or something. Okay, while the engine oil temperature comes alive, heats up, we're gonna finish getting this thing together. Stand by. Flight plan is already loaded in. Yay. So you can see what I've been doing. Where are my charts? Damn it. No. No. What are these? These are charts. And there's Feltzfield. Yay. Alright, ATIS is 120.55.
Feltzfield information Bravo.
Yay, Bravo.
2100 Zulu weather. Wind calm.
Calm.
Visibility more than 10.
10.
Sky conditions 18,000 scattered, 33,000 scattered, temperature 11, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 04 left, departing runway 04 left. Advise on initial contact you have Bravo.
Wait. 04? Is there a 04? What the hell?
Feltzfield information Bravo. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 18,000 scattered, 33,000 scattered, temperature 11, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 04 left, departing runway 04 left.
Oh, god damn it.
Advise on initial contact you have Bravo.
Okay. In all the time I have flown out of Feltzfield, I have never flown from the I've never flown from the east departing end. I've only flown from the west departing end. For a split second, I thought I got cleared to take off from the sea lane or something. The water lane. Alright, so that being the case, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, engine oil's coming up. So this will be different. We're going down this way. Okay. So we're going to release the brakes. We're rolling. Going to turn immediately so we don't spend a whole lot of time past that line. I suppose I could have turned the other way. I just didn't want to risk hitting that that high wing. Oh, Spokane. What would I ever do without you? I'm sorry. I find those signs hilarious. Like, who's not going to contact air traffic control? And I've only ever seen them at Spokane. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Feltzfield. Feltzfield. Obviously, Spokane Airport is a completely different entity. Doesn't matter. I still find the signage ticklish. Yeah, I can't say that I remember ever coming down um, to this end of the runway, the airport, ever. Not even in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This looks alien to me. And I guess this is the departure point. Yep, we are holding short. All right, last minute check. Get everything together. Start the clock. No one's on approach, and we are good to go. Four left. Release. Speeds up. Rotate. We're off to the races. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Banking. Turning through south. Engaging autopilot. GPS. Now. Hands off. Our route is going to take us past a mountain that rises 12,000 feet, but even at 8,000 feet, we're not going to be anywhere near it. So I'm going to take us up to 14.5, just so we can get a higher ground speed. Alright. So we're currently quite nose high. And we've got full tanks, so I'm gonna throttle it hard all the way out there. Really? Okay, we're on the edge of a stall. Glad I recognized that early, but would have been helpful if I actually acted on it. For those of you that haven't realized, there's a stick shaker installed on the PC-12. When a stall is imminent, it shakes the stick. You heard it actually. If you rewind the video a couple of seconds, you'll hear the stick, the control column vibrating. You know, just another, safety feature. Yeah, this is a nice attitude. I can still see the ground and stuff. Coming up on Spokane International to my right, we're basically going to fly right over the airport. Coming up on 14.5. Fourteen one, 2, 3, 14.4, 14.5. There we go. Much better. Alright, we are established at cruise altitude, and we're attaining cruise speed. Oh, we're basically already there. We will be in the Portland area in just under an hour. So, party. Speaking of party. Light them up if you got them up. Psych. Are we in a slight bank? I guess we are. I'm not offended by it. I just thought there was a wing leveler. Oh, thinking of the SR-22. All right. Not used to dealing with winds aloft up here. Still, I'm thinking we could turn into the wind, not bank into the wind. I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. We're on our way, and that's all that counts. So, hey everybody. We are on our way to Portland, and in that time, a couple things I wanted to talk about. When Flight Sim World was first announced, I was very excited about it, and I jumped right on it because I wanted it to succeed. I wanted it to be competitive with the existing simulations we had available to us. You know, the legacy version of FSX, which I guess is on Steam. You know, X-Plane, Aerofly, whatever. I wanted there to be a broad field of realistic simulations that, you know, we, the community, could pull from, choose from. And I think in its earliest development, it was available for $25, and I was like Fry from, you know, Futurama. Shut up and take my money. You know, I wanted it. I wanted it to succeed. At the time I did this, my computer couldn't run it. I loaded it up on Steam, and yeah, it was just, it's not something that could run. And that was cool. That was cool because I was, you know, putting together the specs for the computer that I'm running now. So, you know, my personal situation was not a bearing on wanting the sim to run. So I left it alone. Fast forward, I get the system up and running, finally. And I remember FSW. Now, at this point, FSW has already been canceled. No further development. And that was a heartbreak. I'm not going to lie. Again, I wanted it to succeed. And for a while there, it looked like it was going to. But, you know, best laid plans. So I finally load up Steam on this computer and load up FSW, and at the point in its development where it was canceled, I gotta say it was a mixed bag for me. I spoke about FSX being, you know, pretty much legacy Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it is. But Flight Sim World is taken from the Microsoft Flight Simulator core, right? You know, so there's a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator that's visually reminiscent in Flight Sim World. I would go as far as to say it's not FSX, it's FS-esque. It's FS-esque in how it it kind of resembles Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there's coming up on Ephrata and Wenatchee, and oh, I don't know, 50 miles or so. So there was that. I did one flight. I didn't spend even an hour in the sim. I did one flight from northeast Philadelphia to Lancaster, a route I know very, very well, flown it several times in the real world. And it was okay. It was all right. I flew their Piper Cherokee 180. Well, first about the route. And this might, I don't know if this has more to do with the Flight Simulator core. I'm not sure where they got their scenery data, but the scenery was on time. It was on time. Just right out of the box. It's got the major buildings of Philadelphia. It's got the radio towers of Conshohocken, and I'm like, cool. This is good. So these are things you would see, dorking around at low altitude in the real world. What I was not expecting to see was, as I approached Pottstown, my eyes were drawn to something, and lo and behold, there were the dual cooling towers of the Limerick nuclear power plant. And I was like, nice. If you remember in an earlier video, I had problems finding them in X-Plane. I determined that they weren't there, or my scenery settings weren't high enough for them to be visible. Which, I mean, they're cooling towers. Come on, they're if I'm not mistaken, they count as VFR landmarks. There's not too many cooling towers in that area, but I let it go because it's in the vast scheme of things for X-Plane, it's small potatoes. My personal world will go on. But I found that exciting. The ATC was, standard fare for flight sim. Oh, what I really liked was the external camera views, or at least one of them in particular. The primary external camera view has a certain buoyancy, if you will, that makes it seem like the camera is actually mounted in another plane. And I thought that was awesome. I don't know if anything like that. If we have an equivalent view like that in X-Plane, if we do, please tell me. I would love to make use of that. By comparison, yeah, by comparison, this view is static. I mean, it's not even by comparison. This view is static. It doesn't move. And that's cool too, but, I don't know. I just thought that that Flight Sim Worldview was dynamic. It had some life to it, and I thought that was awesome. Doing it for the Vine. So yeah, like I said, I flew. It comes with, I think, 7 vehicles right out the bat. I mean, right off the out the box. I mean, it might come with more. I only saw 7, and they were GA planes, twins and duals primarily. And one of the draws for me was that one of these planes right out of the box was a Piper Cherokee, one of the planes that I trained in. So I was really looking forward to flying it, seeing what it's like. Flight dynamics, I can't really say they were off. They were okay. Exterior visuals, mwah, loved it. That Hershey bar wing made me want to get up, go to the store, and get an actual Hershey bar. Interior, wasn't a fan. It didn't look good. It just didn't. It looked, and maybe it was because it wasn't one of the later Cherokees, but when I say it looked like a classic Cherokee, they concentrated more on the classic than the Cherokee. It just looked I half expected, I don't know, some B-52 gauges in there. It just looked old. And not in a good way, you know. And again, it's just me being persnickety. You know, I just need to get over myself, but that's kind of a downer for me. So, yeah. Okay, looks like we've leveled out our slight bank. Cool. We are burning through fuel like nobody's business, but we've got the fuel to burn. And we are kicking ass on ground speed. So yeah, I'll trade the fuel for a high ground speed, and that's what I'm doing. What I absolutely did not like about Flight Sim World was the slow transition time between menus, screens. It seemed excessive. Now, I should probably preface that with the thing was still in development. I'm not sure if it was optimized, but it just seemed like we spent more time, even if by seconds. It just seems like we spent more time on the transition screens than I would have wanted. I was comfortable with. So yeah, again, that's just me being, you know, pissy. um, so yeah, I did that this weekend. I loaded up FSW Flight Sim World for an hour just to see where my $25 went, and you know, I feel like I got $25 worth. So, you know, I'll fly it. I'll dork around with it and see what it's got. But at the same time, you know, I'm sad that development on it has ceased. And that's all I got to say about that. Hey, it's quiet back there. I hope you guys aren't doing some crazy Mile High Club action. Because if you are, let a brother know. Because I got autopilot. I don't need to focus on the, you know, just hit the little button above your seat. You know, the call attendant button. You know what I'm talking about. Please? Okay. I'm a dork. We are currently getting frame rate wise 49, 50 frames in this view. We're above the prairie. I can't imagine why I wouldn't. 51 frames per second in this view. And whoa, something's going on. 48, 50, 49 in this view. And you know what? I'm going to do something strange, or something that feels strange to me. I'm going to sit in the right seat for a while. Because I don't sit in the right seat enough. In any plane. You know, I work to sit in the left seat, and damn it, that's where I'm sitting. But the right seat's cool too. You know, I'm either a first officer or a CFI or a designated examiner. This is good. So yeah, and there are fuses over here, so I need to be mindful of those. The mountain that we will be overflying is Mount Adams, and I fear that I may have misidentified it in previous videos as Mount St. Helens, because it visually, at least in the sim, they look the same. I mean, we're nowhere near it right now, but you'll see it. There's no way you're gonna miss it. Like I said, it rises 12,000 feet in the air, peak-wise. So, you know, just sit back and wait. TikTok. Yeah, while we're at it. No, no. Well, you know what? I've sat back here a couple of times. I've been back here. Yeah. Check it out, I've taken my seat. So... not sure which seat I like. Okay, so that's like, what, the 7th seat? 7th, 8th seat? Third row rear. Third row. Rear row. Rear row! The wing seat, forward, face forward seat. This is cool too. Yeah. It's alright. Yeah. And then there's this front rear facing seat. And in here there's another seat, but it's not modeled. Figure it out for yourself. Oh, man. Another thing I wanted to discuss was, again, this I've been flying all weekend. It's Sunday, and wow, got 100 and something miles to go. We've only been in the air 30 minutes. I've been flying all weekend, and the bulk of that flying has been on VATSIM, and it's been educational. It really, really has. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. What I mean by that is I have some glaring flaws in my flying, and it is probably good that I I fly in simulation as much as I do, because if I did half the crap in the real world that I've done in the simulation, I would have my ticket yanked in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And I don't mean the whole thing about, busting airspace, or taking off and landing without clearance, because that's a separate. That does count to me, because that's a function of interacting with air traffic control or controlling agencies, and I find the implementation of ATC and controlling agencies in that, X-plane to be lacking, so I don't use them. If in earlier videos you will have heard me joke about being, the last man alive, after the zombie apocalypse, and I've got, a fully functioning hangar and access to, unlimited fuel or whatever. So I don't need to worry about airspace. I'm flying for the joy of it, not for the regulation of it. But that being said, there are things I've done in simulation it's blood curdling. It's downright embarrassing, and you haven't seen the worst of it, thank God. Just this weekend, I flew. I approached an airport after flying for about an hour without incident, and I was given directives to expect vectors for the eastbound runway, the runway in the easterly heading. And I approached the airport without slowing down. I was I was doing this, I'm like 8-9 miles away, and I'm still moving at the speed of snot. So that was fun. But in addition to that, I set up and approached from the westerly direction of the runway. And I don't have any excuse for myself, except, not that it's an excuse, but it was pure negligence. It was pure incompetence. It's not like it was an airport that I was unfamiliar with. I just thought one end was the other, and I was wrong. And I did this on channel. So there are many witnesses, many witnesses to my incompetence. And that stings. That stings the holy. You get it. You know what I'm about to say. So, what I got out of that incident and others is that my flight planning needs to be more thorough. I can't just plan point to point. I need to go point to departure to en route to approach to point. If I had, spent another few seconds envisioning what approach I might get, I could have spared myself the indignity of having my ass chewed out by ATC. And as we've learned in other videos, I need to know when to begin my descent. Like right now would be a good time. Alright. We are descending at a... Are we? A lovely and leisurely rate. Airspeed's picking up, so I gotta throttle back. It's not what I wanted. Alright, cool. We'll be in the Portland area in 19 minutes. Plenty enough time for me to get down to pattern altitude. So yeah, I recognize that my flying needs to tighten up a lot. A lot. I said as much I think in the very last video. It's like I can't imagine being I can't imagine what goes through the minds of real pilots and controllers who watch my videos and are like, oh, you know. So to you guys, I apologize. I apologize to everybody. But the VATSIM controllers are they have not been without incident. That's Mount Adams right there. We'll take the right seat for it shortly once we get up a little closer for it. Yeah. Right seat it is. You know, I need to know, or I would like to know, when I see controllers online, I would like a firm commitment for when they're getting offline. Because, you know, you see controllers that are active for the airspace that you want to fly in or transit through, and you're like, all right, yes, I've got controllers for that area, and you set up your flight plan and you file it and you do all sorts of crazy stuff and you log on and you know you're about to get airborne or maybe you are airborne and they're either gone or they're just shutting down with like little to no notice. One controller shut down so fast, like he's giving planes directives, and then he just said, "I'm out. I'm shutting down," just like that. I mean, like there weren't seconds in between directives and we're closing the channel, or I'm closing it down. And it happened so quickly, I missed it. And because I missed it, I thought that I had been dropped from VATSIM. I thought that I had been dropped from the channel because everybody else saw it and nobody else is talking on the channel. So I'm just kind of like, what the hell just happened? So I panicked immediately because that's the thing you do in those situations. And this is fast on the heels of me reading about, God, what is the name of that network? Oh my God, it was on the tip of my tongue. Crap. It's the Flight Sim Network controller network that operates in California. It's a subscription service. Well, I feel like a complete noob. At any rate, I just read about them, and I'm intrigued. I might sign up. Once or twice, and see what they're like. Pilot Edge! God darn it! Swear to God, people, memory is like the third thing to go at my age. What the oh. But I digress. So, yeah. So they only operate out of California, but the neat part about it is, as best as I have read, all levels of controllers are staffed. These guys are paid. These guys are current, retired, former ATC professionals in the real world. So they know what they're doing, and they're not doing it for not just the sake of the flight simming community, but also the real world community, because what the point of Pilot Edge is to get users over mic fright, to get users comfortable in talking to ATC and understanding them on the first try, and I gotta admit, if something like that was available when I was in flight training, I would have been all over it. I would have been all over it like something. I don't know. Yeah, Mount Adams. So part of me is thinking, hey, give Pilot Edge a shot. What's the worst that can happen? I commit one of my Quentin errors and they boot me off. So, yeah. That was groovy. "56 miles out, we'll be on there." Oh, I love it. Look at that speed, baby. 13 minutes to cover 55 miles? What god did I please? Where are we at? 269? I got my eye on you, buddy. Let's I think we're close enough to get Portland's ATIS. Here's Battleground. Portland. 120.62 and 128.35. Let's go to 128.35.
Portland INTL
Yay!
information Charlie. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 20,000 scattered, 35,000 scattered, temperature 14, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 28 right, 28 left, 03, departing runways 28 right, 28 left, 03. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
What I should have done was I should have immediately pulled up this map and visualized my approach.
Portland INTL information.
This is 28 right, and this is
2200 Zulu
28 left.
Wind
That would have
calm,
told me immediately
visibility
to, come
Sky
down this
conditions
way
20,000 scattered, 35,000
for my
scattered,
approach. But I didn't do
temperature
that.
14,
I'm
dew
a
point -10.
knucklehead.
Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 28 right, 28 left, 03, departing runways 28 right, 28 left, 03. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
Oh, wait a second. 41 miles, 9 minutes out.
Portland INTL information Charlie. 22.
And I have no idea what mountain that is. But I imagine there's some knuckleheaded snowboarders up there. Is that Mount St. Helens right there? Is that the one? I am in the land of mountains. It's like being back in Spokane. The mountains were a little closer though. Eight minutes, 8,000 feet to go. At 20 miles, I'm going to disengage autopilot and flare out to the south so I can approach it this way. You know, what I should have done the first time. Or the last time. Jesus. And slow down. You know what? This is my redemption flight. I'm taking all the lessons that I've learned prior and implementing them. Where are we? Looking good. Nope, doesn't name it. Damn it. I don't know why I'm looking at high en route. Yeah, as soon as we clear this this ridge right here, coming up, I'm gonna dart to the want to dart to the south. The adult in me says to arrest my descent. You know, because of this right here. The thrill seeker in me says, passengers gotta learn. Life is fleeting. I'll clear it. Hold my beer. Did I use that right? And it looks like we cleared it. I am Quentin Parker. I fear no ridges. All right. Disengaging autopilot. Airport should be dead ahead. And it is. Decelerating. Okay, we're kind of diving for the deck, but that's all right. It's a controlled dive. Alright, we are just over 150. We're at 160 and airspeed wise. 160. Nope, we're at 170. Now we're at 160. Alright, I'm dropping the gear. Create some drag. No, you don't. I think I've got enough offset. Did I pass it? Son of a bitch. I blew right by it. See, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. There we go. Got a little too much offset.
Portland INTL information Charlie. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 20,000 scattered, 35,000 scattered, temperature 14, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 28 right, 28 left, 03, departing runways 28 right, 28 left, 03. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
Two eight right it is.
Portland INTL information Charlie. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 20,000 scattered, 35,000 scattered, temperature 14, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 28 right.
Alright, first notch of flaps. Trim it up. Second notch. Coming down. Last notch. Lining up. Looking good. Okay, there we are. Lined up. A little low. Runway made. I thought I was low a moment ago. Eating up a lot of runway, kid. Clear the runway. Well, that was special. If I'm not mistaken, general aviation is way back there. Okay, I didn't... not by too much. That wasn't too bad. I probably would have blown a check ride, so... yeah, it was bad. Let's taxi to parking and get the hell out of here. Flaps up. So, in conclusion, those are the things that have been on my mind lately. Is that... can I enter here? I believe I can. Ooh, saved me a spot. Sweet. Actually, there's plenty of spots here. Should I park in the hangar so my plane isn't, my delicate plane isn't exposed to the elements? Or should I park down here so I'm absolutely sure no one will hit it? Like we're at the mall or something. This is usually where I start anyway, so I don't know. I guess it is park wherever you feel like. I don't see any T-crosses or anything. Park by this guy. Or between these two. Yeah, this is good. All right, I'm shutting it down. First off, an hour and 14. Not too shabby. For 240 miles? Oh, man. Off the brakes. Parking brake engaged. That's cool. Not too bad parking job. Good enough for government work. So that's what we're doing, people. Just using these applications to become a better pilot. If you can make the mistakes and correct them in simulation, you're doing all right. Don't take them out into the real world. All right. That's your lesson today from your pilot, Quentin Parker, and I'm performing the mistakes in simulation so you don't have to. Catch you guys a little later. I'm out. Bye.